Hello. Chinese drama Gen Z EP6. Sun Taotu didn't understand this way of ancestral worship. In her opinion, a group of people offering fruits and then swearing along with it seemed like a cheap trick to please the crowd. The solemn atmosphere was disrupted by Sun Taotu. Yang Xiaohong couldn't stand it and said that it was impolite to make grandiose statements in a cemetery. If it were the burial place of loved ones, it would be even more unacceptable. However, Sun Taotu claimed that she grew up in an orphanage without parents, so she had no need for ancestral worship. She even mentioned that the most memorable festival in her impression was when people came to the orphanage every month to adopt them. Many children would sit neatly at the entrance, waiting for the adopting families to choose them. The quiet and beautiful children would always be selected first, and even sick children would find families. On the contrary, she was left behind because of her unruly behavior. Upon hearing Sun Taotu's words, some people were moved. Yang Xiaohong was about to apologize to Sun Taotu when suddenly Sun Taotu quietly leaned in and whispered in her ear that she was just joking with them earlier. Such lack of manners earned a stern glare from Ren Xinzheng, and he continued leading everyone in reciting the medical classics. Sun Taotu was isolated by everyone and stood alone, watching everyone earnestly recite, feeling somewhat awkward. At Huifeng Mountain, Ren Xinzheng and Linglin had just arrived in the village with their students when they saw many villagers warmly welcoming them at the village entrance. They knew that Ren Xinzheng would always provide free medical consultations here every year, so they had come early. Ren Xinzheng and Linglin noticed that with the improvement in living standards, more and more people were addicted to the internet. They stayed up late at night, felt lethargic the next day, and even developed various complications. Therefore, they prescribed a remedy called internet disconnection at 10 o'clock. When the students asked the teachers about their regular sleep schedule, Ren Xinzheng analyzed the modern pace of life and said that going to bed before 11 p.m. was the most basic rule. If they consistently followed this routine for 3 months, many minor ailments would naturally heal. During lunchtime, Linglin had a slight cough. The air in the village was chilly, so Ren Xinzheng told her to take a car back to the clinic the next day. Sun Taotu was feeling listless near the stove, and Ren Xinzheng took her pulse and instructed Linglin to make some ginger syrup for her. Sun Taotu was experiencing her menstrual period, which she usually endured silently. When she saw Ren Xinzheng's wife putting socks on her and reminding her not to walk barefoot during this time, and even bringing her a cup of warm ginger syrup to drink, Sun Taotu was deeply moved. It was the first time someone had cared for her like this. Sun Taotu, who had just sat quietly like a girl, immediately became nervous when she heard that Xu Yuan wanted to drink the chicken soup left for her. She quickly wanted to get up and grab it, even blaming Xu Yuan for causing trouble. Linglin heard Sun Taotu blurt out the medical classics recited during the ancestral worship in the morning, and she found it amusing. Sun Taotu had a good memory and didn't forget things easily. Linglin mentioned this to Ren Xinzheng, who believed that the child's nature wasn't bad, she just lacked proper upbringing, and perhaps her sense of belonging was too low. With proper guidance in the future, there should be positive results. Ren Xinzheng began to establish some rules. Every day, the students would have to hand in their phones for a few hours, during which they could focus on studying. However, Sun Taotu was extremely dissatisfied. Not only could she no longer use her phone, but she also couldn't sleep in the morning. Otherwise, the class monitor, Xu Yuan, would use Ren Xinzheng's teaching baton to compel her to get up. Sun Taotu secretly went to Ren Xinzheng's room, intending to steal her phone, but Ren Xinzheng caught her red-handed. Feeling bored and unsatisfied with the food, Sun Taotu took advantage of the darkness and escaped in the middle of the night. This is a deep forest in the mountains. It's easy to get lost during the day, let alone at night. Sun Taotu, carrying her luggage, mumbled to herself and completely let go, unintentionally ignoring a path marked by Linglin. She took the wrong path and walked for a long time without finding her way out. With no other options, she leaned against a tree to rest. But soon there was commotion from a hornet's nest in the tree. Swarms of hornets chased after Sun Taotu, stinging her frantically. Sun Taotu let out a scream and started calling for help. Luckily, Ren Xinzheng and Ren Tianzhen arrived in time, and safely brought Sun Taotu back. Sun Taotu had a hard lesson, and no longer dared to be mischievous. Ren Tianzhen couldn't help but chuckle when she saw Sun Taotu's swollen face, and Ren Xinzheng quickly crushed some herbs and applied them to her face as a poultice. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye.